Hey, what's up, guys? This is David Chase Taylor of 911truther.org. Today is July 3rd of 2025. So, based on breaking news and events, it appears the CIA headquarters located beneath CERN at Lake Geneva in Switzerland is going to stage an escalating series of events on the date of July 4th, Independence Day of 2025, designed to decapitate the United States, spawn a second global biological pandemic, and or trigger World War III. So exactly what type of event is planned is obviously not known, but breaking news and events suggest that the day will start off with the assassination of one Donald J. Trump. So for those of you that are unaware, on the date of July 3rd of 2025, the big beautiful bill, Trump's bill was passed by the Senate and passed by the House on July 3rd, and now awaits his signature, and Trump is slated to sign the big beautiful bill in the Oval Office on the date of July 4th. Leading up to this historic passage of this bill, which many thought would never get passed, the Trump administration and Trump personally has had possibly the best 2 weeks run of any president ever on domestic policy as well as foreign policy, and this is designed to basically satisfy the American public that Trump's policies will be ingrained in the American agenda because they plan to eliminate him, and the date that they plan to do so is on July 4th in some form or fashion. And in this video I'm going to detail exactly the most likely scenarios in which that will take place. So on the morning of July 4th, Trump will sign the big beautiful bill. It is likely during this signing in the Oval Office that one of 3 assassination attempts targeting Trump on this particular date will take place. The first assassination attempt is likely going to be under the guise, it's going to be executed by the Israeli Mossad, no doubt about it, but it's going to be scapegoated onto a Doge employee. So the ongoing rift between Elon Musk and Donald J. Trump is being orchestrated by Elon Musk handlers to create this ongoing rift in the media, basically to create a smokescreen or political cover for the assassination of Donald J. Trump at a later date by a Doge employee. Because the Doge monster, as Trump recently called it, was created to find fraud and abuse in the U.S. government, it contains a lot of young men and who apparently are very good with computers. And so I'm not sure exactly at what location these are stationed at, but apparently it is in the White House or close to the White House, proximity to the White House. And so it appears that the first assassination attempt targeting Trump on this particular date will be scapegoated onto a Doge member, which is why in just the last 24 to 48 hours, Elon Musk reiterated his claims about Donald J. Trump being on the Epstein list, and has and personally stated, and this is not verbatim, but he stated something to the fact that he will take down Donald J. Trump if it's the last thing he does. And so likely after this, they will likely arrest Musk for allegedly inciting or paying off this person to take out Trump. Second is, on the date of July 3rd, the Trump administration, or maybe it was the 2nd of July, I'm not sure, in the last 24 hours, the Trump administration has halted weapon shipments to Ukraine. This particular scenario was previously the CIA tried to execute this scenario shortly after Donald J. Trump kicked Vladimir Zelensky, the president of Ukraine, out of the White House a few months ago. And so this is why Vladimir Zelensky always wears fatigues, military uniforms, because he is a rogue asset, as the CIA likes to call these people. So he is wearing a military uniform because he's going to go rogue on his on the nation that's supporting his basically war against Russia. And so, since the United States has now cut off military funding, now they're going to make America pay for that. And so, the second such assassination is going to be executed under the guise of a Ukrainian national, Ukrainian sleeper cell, or Ukrainian-based revenge attack that's going to be orchestrated by under the guise of Vladimir Zelensky or the SBU, which is the Secret Service of Ukraine. So obviously, again, this is going to be executed by the Israeli Mossad and then scapegoated onto one or more members of Ukrainian paramilitary forces or Ukrainian nationals. Coincidentally, that is why when Trump was accosted on a Florida golf course in an assassination attempt, this was an individual that had allegedly served in fought with Ukraine in the Russo-Ukrainian War, because this was designed to foreshadow a Ukrainian assassination of Donald J. Trump at a later date. So that is the warning. And so those two particular scenarios would likely happen in the Oval Office, which has a window. And coincidentally, tonight, July 3rd, when Trump was speaking during a live speech in Des Moines, Iowa, the CIA lit off a bunch of fireworks, which Donald J. Trump responded to because they didn't know if it was gunfire or fireworks. So this is designed to foreshadow Trump's assassination less than 24 hours later. Okay, so that's the first scenario, is that Trump will be killed on the date of July 4th of 2024. You can mark Donald J. Trump will be assassinated on the date of July 4th, 2025. You can mark it down, write it down, but it's going to happen. The second event that's going to happen on the date of July 4th in the United States, or the date of July 5th elsewhere in the world, is an Iranian offensive. So this is going to be executed by the Israeli Mossad, the Israeli Navy, the Israeli Air Force, and it's going to be scapegoated onto Iran, and then this is going to start World War III. So everybody knows that Israel attacked Iran on July 13th, and that the United States followed suit and bombed Iran's nuclear sites on July 22nd. And so this is all setting up for this revenge attack that Israel is going to execute and then scapegoat onto Iran to start World War III. Everybody knows it's going to happen. The question is when. So far, all false flags have been thwarted. But this is the time when, on July 4th, when Americans are feeling patriotic, they're going to kill Americans. This is what Israel does. They're really good at it. They're going to, everybody's feeling really good about America. The one big, beautiful bill just got passed. Everybody's really patriotic, and so they're going to spill the blood of Americans on the date of July 4th and the date of July 5th to basically enrage the American public into World War. So, in order to foreshadow this, the FBI and the DHS released a joint memo stating that there's going to be terror attacks targeting Americans on July 4th, celebrations and large gatherings. And so, of course, in this report, they mentioned Iran, and of course, you can add in there ISIS and Al Qaeda and Hamas and Hezbollah, etc., etc. So exactly where these events are going to happen is obviously not known, but considering they are going to kill Americans, obviously United States Armed Forces related military installations in the Middle East are the most likely, followed by U.S. Military installations in the United States, second most likely. Also, as mentioned in the report, July 4th celebrations, so we're looking at beaches, fireworks, tourist attractions, anywhere where Americans are going to be gathering on the date of July 4th. Obviously, this is going to be a false flag. There's also the possibility that the Israeli Navy will shoot down American airliners, that the Israeli Navy will strike U.S. ships just as they did when they attacked the USS Liberty off the coast of the Sinai Peninsula in the Mediterranean Sea back on June 8th of 1967, when they killed a bunch of Americans. So the Israeli military is going to launch an offensive against the United States on the date of July 4th and 5th, and then this will be blamed on Iran, and they will goad America into fighting their wars in the Middle East on their behalf. Number 3, the third most likely event that's going to transpire on this particular date of July 4th is that the CIA is going to stage some sort of DEFCON level event inside the United States. This could kill President Trump while he is in Washington, D.C. This could be an ICBM nuclear attack on Washington, D.C., on New York City. This could be a 9/11 style attack. This could be an asteroid attack. A nuclear event, but it's going to be a CBRN event in nature, most likely. That's chemical, biological, radiological, or nuclear. So some sort of event that's designed to trigger martial law, deploy the National Guard, and to take the United States to a DEFCON level setting, likely DEFCON 2 or DEFCON 1. So on the evening of July 4th, when everybody is gathered to watch fireworks, some sort of major event is expected to happen. And in order to foreshadow this, the CIA just staged this massive apocalyptic explosion targeting this fireworks factory in California. Reportedly, 7 people were killed. Exactly how this happened or who was inside is obviously not known, but if you look at the video, it's all over the internet. You can see this massive explosion, and this is designed to foreshadow that some sort of massive explosion is going to happen while people are watching fireworks on the evening of July 4th. So coincidentally, on the evening of July 4th, or I should backtrack and say that leading up to the evening of July 4th is Donald J. Trump is hosting, as a proud supporter of the U.S. military, he is hosting a military picnic at the White House for members of the U.S. Armed Forces. And it is during this time that the third assassination attempt on Donald J. Trump will be attempted to be executed by the CIA. So what they're basically going to do is it's going to be a Mossad hit, of course, as it always is, but it's going to be executed under the guise of a disenfranchised U.S. armed service member. So this could be a DEI reject, but it's most likely going to be an LGBTQ trans member that was subsequently dismissed from the U.S. Armed Forces when Trump banned them from serving in the U.S. military. So this may be a stabbing attack, it may be a shooting attack, but most likely it's going to be a mass shooting attack because of the link between mass shootings and transsexuals with Dylan Mulvaney and Kid Rock and Donald J. Trump and Kid Rock's relationship. So it's likely going to be some sort of a shooting-related attack. And so this will be the third attempt on Donald J. Trump's life on this particular date. So as the evening progresses, Donald J. Trump is going to be watching the fireworks display at the White House with members of the U.S. Navy and the U.S. Air Force who participated in the June 22nd attack on Iran's nuclear facilities in Iran. And during this event in Washington, D.C., there's going to be a flyover. And so there's going to be, I believe, don't quote me on this, but I believe there's going to be B-2s and all sorts of different jets flying over Washington, D.C. as a salute to service and a salute to America. And it is during this time that the CIA is planning their fourth assassination attempt on Donald J. Trump's life, where they plan to crash one of these planes into the White House to kill Donald J. Trump, his wife, his family, and all sorts of members of his cabinet and whoever is with his family. And that is precisely why a few months ago they staged this collision between this Black Hawk helicopter and this airplane, a United Airlines flight, if memory serves, over the Potomac River. And this was designed, and they were coincidentally executing a quote-unquote continuity of government exercise at the time this exercise took place. So obviously, if two of these planes crash into each other, which some sort of mid-air collision, and one spirals into the White House, obviously there would be a continuity of government. So that is why I will state for the record that J.D. Vance will be sworn in as the 48th President of the United States on July 4th of 2025, in the aftermath of a Donald J. Trump assassination that will either be a direct assassination or executed under the guise of an accident. Obviously, in the aftermath of me saying this, they'll likely go to Plan C, which is some sort of medical-related death event. But nonetheless, Donald J. Trump will be dead on the date of July 4th of 2025. So that will mark exactly 28,875 days since Donald J. Trump was born. So just to recap, July 4th is going to be a pivotal day for America, obviously for the presidency, and is going to determine whether or not we have the president that the American people elected, or whether we will go to war. So I'm just going to state for the record that one of these 5 things will happen on the date of July 4th of 2025. Number 1, Donald J. Trump will die in some form or fashion. Number 2, J.D. Vance will be sworn in as President of the United States. Number 3, World War III will be declared. Number 4, some sort of DEFCON level event will transpire. And number 5, a second global biological pandemic will have ensued. So some sort of major event is going to happen on this particular date, and is obviously designed to decapitate the United States leadership, to trigger World War III, and to basically turn the United States obviously into a chaotic situation, and into a tailspin, no pun intended, so that they can basically regain control. Because what's happening is that the CIA and their headquarters in Geneva, Switzerland, has been exposed. And so the United States, by installing tariffs and by making European partners pay for their role in NATO and all the different things that Trump is doing, has infuriated the CIA in Switzerland. And so they have essentially, we're digging the claws of the European bankers out of our backs, no pun intended. And so in order to recapture, re-enslave the United States as they would like, they have to basically assassinate Trump in some form or fashion. So I've listed 4 scenarios, which I believe they will try to execute on this particular date. And in the aftermath of this video, they'll likely employ a version thereof, or find some other way to knock him off. But some sort of major event is expected to happen on this particular date. So obviously, if any of the aforementioned events come to fruition in reality, I kindly ask that you download this video and share with local, state, and federal law enforcement, military, and intelligence officials, as well as with local, national, and international media outlets.